Okay, so 1, Charmander. No. 1, Bulbasaur. 2, Venusaur. No, Ivysaur. 1. Hey everybody, Matthew Gonzalez here from No Leafy Videos, and I want to talk about Pokemon today, but more specifically on how Pokemon is represented in the media. Now, I was born in 1991. Calm down. I'm fine. I don't feel old. But I do remember a time that there was before what we have now. I remember a time of 150 Pokemon. I remember a time of only having the Pokemon games on Game Boy and waiting for the next episode of the Pokemon animated series with Ash Ketchum, Misty, and Brock, enough to shape my personality and give me an interest in the characters. This is my air freshener. It's Sabrina's Gengar. So growing up with Pokemon Red and Blue and then Gold and Silver, the only time we were able to see Pokemon move around and have more personality was the anime. And the anime did a great job on illustrating how they look, the feel, the way they sound, giving them a lot more personalities. But over the years, Pokemon has grown to this huge global phenomenon with many different reiterations of the franchise. You have animes, the Pokemon cards that have beautiful illustrations. You have video games that are like League of Legends, Pokken, which was like a Tekken game, and the game that I love, Pokemon Go, which allows me to just get lost in my phone while I see all these beautiful things around me. But what I find interesting about Pokemon is the personalities and how they look and feel. Being someone that saw Pokemon from the beginning, the only personification of the Pokemon were sprites on your Game Boy screen. And I have to admit, the Pokemon Company has a pretty interesting way on showcasing their properties. Now I'm going to take 2 examples. That is Detective Pikachu and Pokemon Concierge. Now the one thing that I really loved about Detective Pikachu is how they animated the Pokemon. Pikachu looked all furry and fuzzy, and Squirtle looked really cute with the water coming down his slick skin. But I think Pokemon Company actually does a good job when trying to animate their characters. You can tell with the Pokemon Company and the franchise, they actually put care into making sure not just their main Pokemon look good, but just everyone else along the way look at least close to what they want to represent. So another great example of Pokemon in media is Pokemon Concierge. It's a show on Netflix. They're pretty much 15 to 20 minutes, maybe less. And it's literally a show about Pokemon going to a resort. The storyline is as simple as that, but it kind of gives off an Animal Crossing vibe that is very low stake, but it's really beautiful to see. And I want to get into that. The fact that it looks beautiful. Each Pokemon looks so good. And you can tell that the creators, whether it was the creators themselves or Pokemon sticking their heads into the production, really take care on how each Pokemon look. And they show that in their animation. What's so interesting about Pokemon Concierge is that it is a stop motion show, which means everything is very tactile. Everything has to be made and moved frame by frame to show movement. And they do this so well with the Pokemon properties. Each Pokemon looks different. You have your Pokemon like Pikachu or Ferret that are created with wool to make them kind of feel cuddly and nice. And you have your other Pokemon like Steel type Pokemon like Metagross that have like this nice sheen to the skin that I can't really explain, but looks beautiful. And it shows that they really do take care on how Pokemon is represented in media. For some time, the only representation that we got in Pokemon was through sprites in the Game Boy games or the mangas or the anime. But now with shows like Pokemon Concierge, movies like Detective Pikachu, now we're able to see each individual Pokemon and sort of get an idea of how they would look in the real world. Pokemon Concierge does a great job to make sure that whatever materials they're using for those Pokemon can brilliantly recreate what that Pokemon is supposed to look like. And the same thing with Detective Pikachu. Yes, the movie was CGI, but the way each Pokemon moved, looked phenomenal. You know, you had Mr. Mime that, yeah, Mr. Mime looks terrifying, but that's how Mr. Mime's probably supposed to look. And so it shows that the Pokemon Company is there trying to recreate these things to make sure that their properties are represented well, which is a smart move because if you're like me, you're waiting for the day for science to come out and be like, yo, we created Pokemon. And then be like, all right, bet. I'm not even going to put them in a Pokeball. Don't worry about that. I'm not going to do that to them. But I would like a nice Sandshrew as a friend. Sandshrew looks dope. I don't want to deal with train traffic. I want to ride my Pidgeotto. Or damn, my car is stuck. Maybe my small little Joltik can give me a jump start. Either way, sorry. I was just looking at seagulls over there wishing they were Wingulls. Now, either way, I think the property of Pokemon is doing a great job in media to represent their characters. I don't know if it's the Pokemon Company or if it's actual people that really care about their property to make them look good, but it shows in the product. And I think that's the most important thing, that the end product looks good. Detective Pikachu, I like the movie. Again, not Citizen Kane, but I can watch that movie and really enjoy what it looks like. Pokemon Concierge, again, it's such a low risk show, but it's so visually pleasing. So that's all I really wanted to say about Pokemon. The inner child in me appreciates what the media is doing with Pokemon, at least visually. I think it's pleasing and I would love to see more what else they can do. I don't know how to end these videos, so thank you for watching. And watch whatever's on the screen, subscribe somewhere. And yeah, I don't know the Pokemon rap, but I'm just gonna go from 1 to 25. Let's see if I remember. Okay. Bulbasaur, Ivysaur, Venusaur, Squirtle, Wartortle, Blastoise, Charmander, Charmeleon, Charizard. Oh man. Who's after Charizard? Oh no. Oh, this is bad, guys.